Good evening, everybody, and you're really welcome to this Moving Energy, Moving Blood live. Introduction to Shiatsu, how to press a point. Shiatsu is using the meridians and the acupressure points to really kind of open up these channels that flow through the bodies like rivers, and we want them to flow really well. And sometimes there can be blockages due to trauma or past injury, and the muscles can tighten up, there can be scarring, and also there can be kind of holding of tension, and then the blood and the qi doesn't flow well. So I'm going to share 3 points this evening that will help blood and help, I don't think I need these in, that will help blood flow and qi flow. So you're all very welcome. Just in case anyone doesn't know me, I'm Joanne Faulkner and I am a Shiatsu practitioner. I've been in practice for over 20 years and I use Chinese medicine in Qi Gong, acupressure, and 5 elements of food to bring the body back to balance. Because acupressure points aren't just a magic button. We're not going to learn magic buttons. We're going to really have a conversation with the body. That's what Shiatsu is. We press the point, we listen for the response. And that's what we're going to be doing this evening. We're really going to be connecting and having a conversation with our body. And that's what I do now, is that when my body is talking to me, I kind of know how it responds. Like at the moment, I've got a little niggle in the shoulder and I know it's in the large intestine meridian, and I have a little bit of large intestine stuff going on at the moment. So I know that I need to be drinking plenty of water. I also take some psyllium. So my body is talking to me all the time. And I just have developed a language through Shiatsu to really understand what it's saying. So pain, we're here to reduce pain in Chinese medicine. And pain, in general, broad terms in Chinese medicine, is seen that there isn't a good flow of energy or blood through the body. Now, it's said that energy, qi, pushes the blood around the body. So either it encounters blockages, like I said, that perhaps there isn't a lot of good range of motion through one of your joints and the blood and the energy can't flow, or you have low energy and that doesn't help push the blood through the body. So you can reduce pain by either using these 3 acupressure points or Qigong or 5 element foods, preferably all together. But like I said, it's a conversation with the body. Okay. And if for those of you, I'm going to be demonstrating the points. And if you want to see where the points are, please do download the free book that goes with this video that has pictures and actually writing describing where the points are. So if you're watching this live, don't forget on Facebook, put in the comments who you are, where you are, and I will send you a message with the free ebook link that goes with this talk. So first off, I wanted to actually talk to you a little bit about how energy works and how we're going to use the power of the mind with our acupressure points on the body. So what I want you to do first off is I want you to look over your right shoulder. Okay, just look over your right shoulder and I want you to just be aware of where you can see. Look over your right shoulder and just pick a point. Yes, I can see there. All right, now what I want you to do is take your right hand and I want you to raise it in the air and I want you to stretch up through the armpit. Really feel a stretch through the armpit. Wiggle the fingers, feel the space between your ribs and your hips. Really feel that space, open that side of the body and bring the arm down. And now look over your right shoulder again. And there should be a little bit more openness. Now that's just pure mechanics of the body. That's how the body works. We use the physical movements of Qi Gong and the acupressure to physically move something. But we also use the power of the mind and intention. So what I want you to do now is look over your left shoulder. And just be aware of where you can see. Pick your point over your left shoulder. and come back. Now, imagine you're doing the same thing with your left arm. Imagine you're raising it up. You might want to close your eyes and really imagine this feeling. Imagine raising your hand, up and up it goes, and you feel that same space in your armpit. Feel the space in your armpit. Feel the space between all your ribs on your rib cage and the space between your ribs and your hip bones. Feel that space. Open it up, wiggle your fingers, imagine you're doing this, and now bring the hand back down. So that was all with the power of the mind. Now look over your left shoulder again. And you should be able to see exactly the same a little bit further after you've done that exercise, and yet you didn't move anything at all. You used the power of your mind and your intention. And that is what we are going to do to press a point. And it's like I said, it's not just a button. We're not just digging a hole into these points. We're having a conversation. And at the moment, there's a theme in Shiatsu with the Borders month, Shiatsu without borders, I should say. And that is, how do you support your own energy when you're giving yourself Shiatsu or when you're giving it to others? And just generally, how can we build energy in the body? Well, one of the ways I do this is by realizing that it's not all me as this person I imagine myself to be. Like this, don't like that. Do that, don't do that. What I do is I connect to life force energy, all right? And the life force energy contains yin and yang. So let's just do that a little bit. So what I want you to do is just rock. See if you can sit, okay? And I want you to just rock on your sit bones. Just rock on your sit bones. And we're just kind of opening the hips, even if you're sitting on a regular chair or if you're lying on a bed, just wiggle your hips and engage that lower belly. See if you can really wiggle it into your belly button. Wiggle it into your belly button. Take a breath, big breath, exhale. Now, what I want you to do is feel the perineum point really deep low and bring as if you've got a cord right from the perineum up through the center of the body, behind the belly button, behind the sternum, and through the throat. So just drop your chin down to chest. Just drop your chin down to chest and feel the top of your head. And what I want you to do is just imagine you've got a cord coming right up through the center of the body, center of the throat, and coming right up out of the top of the head. Take that up, 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 up through the clouds. Take it higher and higher, higher and higher, past where the airplanes fly, and imagine popping out of the atmosphere. Take it higher and plug that cord into the North Star. If this is in the Northern Hemisphere, we have 2 points, the North Star and the Southern Cross, and the Earth turns around these 2 points, these 2 stars. So we're finding the center in a swirling universe. And this swirling universe is always expanding. It's very yang. So what I want you to do is imagine drawing down that yang energy, almost kind of like a whirlpool. Draw it down right through the top of the head, right through the throat, behind the sternum, behind the belly button, down to the perineum. And now take it down now. Feel the weight of your body. Begin to feel the weight of your bones, the weight of your bones, the weight of your flesh. Feel your blood pulsing. And take that cord from the perineum down through the chair you're sitting on, down through the floor, deep, deep down, 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 right into the center of the earth. Right into the center of the earth. And imagine you're plugging it into the center of the earth. And now draw up this energy. This energy is yin energy. It's solid. It's solid. You can touch it. You can feel it. It's yin. It's dark. It's quiet. Draw it up, 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 right through the perineum and bring it. Just find your belly button. Place your hand around your belly button and just bring it to this area here and just give it a little rub. Just circle here. So imagine you're drawing down the yang from heaven and the yin from earth, and we bring it here. And here is where the life force energy becomes you. It becomes your chi. So you never have to feel like you're alone. You're part of nature. Even though you're an individual with thoughts and choices, you are part of nature. You are living with a life force energy that goes through the seasons just like nature does. So if you're ever feeling exhausted, I invite you to draw down heaven, draw up earth, mix this yin and yang and make it your own chi. And that's what we're going to use tonight to press the points. Connected to yin and yang, feel this life force energy at your back, ready to flow through the points. Right, so let's move to the first point. Let me just check I've gone through everything. Yeah, so this, I think we'll just begin. So the first point I want to show you is CV17. Okay, CV17, I wore this outfit purposely so it was easy access. So CV17 is draw a line right down the center of the midline of your body. And in between where the nipples could be, should be, where maybe, that is where you want to go. You want to go right, join over, right in the center and where they meet, the two of them there. If you're wearing an underwired bra, it's usually exactly where that underwired bra goes. So I want you to just find that point. If you use your two fingers, you'll also find that the sternum has a little bit of a divot there to just find where that hole, where that little area is for your fingers. But this isn't about just pressing a button. Even though this point is really brilliant for anxiety, panic attacks, especially if you feel if you're having menopause and you have these hot flashes that overwhelm and you feel like running out of shops, they're panicked. I'm telling you, I used to be there. I used to have panic attacks and I used to use this point all the time. And believe me now, I still have the whoosh of hormones, but I have something to manage. I have a conversation to have with my body. So what I want you to do is just have a conversation. Sometimes the point might feel solid and stuck. It might feel cold and empty. So what you want to do is you want to bring it back to balance. So if it feels kind of cold and empty, see if it needs tapping. Maybe it feels congested and solid. Let's experiment. Tonight is not about getting it right. Tonight is about learning. It's about experiencing and trying these different things. So try tapping. This tapping, by the way, is really great for the immune system because the thymus is behind the sternum. So what you're doing is you're actually activating the thymus and getting it to produce more white blood cells, which is brilliant T cells. So tapping, inhale, exhale. Now, just feel how that feels. Just when you press it, hold. What this also does, this point, it's called CV17, center of chest. It actually opens and relaxes all the muscles around the chest. It helps breathing. It loosens the diaphragm so we can breathe deeper. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's sweep it down from there. Let's sweep the energy down to the lower dantian. Take a belly breath. Exhale. Send the belly button back to the spine. Inhale. Big belly breath. Exhale. Belly button back to the spine. And let's just sit. Connect these two hands together, one on the lower belly and one on the chest. See if I can calm my heart rate. From going live on Facebook to recording this. Just see if I can connect back with reality, which is just really me sitting in a room, chatting with a whole load of people and sharing some of the practices that I use. So being in the reality of the moment. It feels lovely. Let's just press and hold that point again. So just have a conversation with your body. Does it feel empty? Would you like to bring more energy to this point, or would you like to disperse it? Just have a conversation. What does it like? Does it like massaging around the point? Does that feel good? Or does it feel just good when you hold it? At the end of this session, I'm going to open it up to questions. So just kind of have a reflection and see how this point feels. It's really good for anxiety. But you know what? Sometimes when you're in the queue in the middle of Lidl and you have a panic attack, probably doing this thing is not what you feel like doing. So I'm going to show you an extra one that you can use with this and nobody will know that you're doing it, which is just pulse. Just pulse through the fingers, pulse through the fingers. And what you're doing here is you're activating Heart Protector 8. And I love this point, connecting it all the way through and down to CV17. So open the hands up and pulse. Already helping to open and move the blood, pulsing the blood, helping with nerves. Push the hands out to the side. Really feel like that point in the center of the chest is relaxing. Down with the hands and up. Now, obviously, you wouldn't do that in little either. I am going to show you in the middle. So exhale, inhale. Breathe right to that point. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open right to the palms of the hands, connecting them with the center of the chest. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Really feel that point softening and opening right in the center of the chest. Exhale. Bring both hands and imagine that point in the center of your palms connecting with the center of your chest. How does that feel? Does it feel warm? Does it feel cold? Does it help you feel more relaxed, less panicky, less overthinking? Sweep it down now. Sweep it down to the lower belly. We always come back down to the lower belly. We never leave the energy in the heart area or the head. Thinking too much, feeling too much, bring it down to your vitality center. Okay, now let's go on and let's learn the second point. So this point here for anxiety, for panic. Oh, I did promise to show you what to do in the little supermarket queue. So take the hand, and where the middle finger falls is Heart Protector 8. So you can see it's not directly in the center of the palm, it's just off to the side where that middle finger meets. And so if you hold and press and imagine the energy going from this thumb, and if you like, you can imagine it coming down from yang, heaven, up from earth, mixing in the heart and flowing down to connect with this point and your thumb. Connect with heaven and earth. Feel deeply grounded in the lower belly. Flowing the energy through the center of the chest. Remember, we're exercising the mind as well as the body. So use the power of the mind. Perhaps you have a color for this energy. There's a color for each of the organs. But right now, what color would you like? Orange, white, blue, pinky, purple, ultraviolet. Just connecting the point in the palm with the point in the chest. Feel the relaxation and the panic abating. Feel your heart beat just coming back down to a nice stillness. So point one for panic, anxiety, where you can't breathe, the breath is all up here. Help it to settle and bringing the breath really low. It's said that the kidneys grasp the breath. So we want to draw the breath really low, right down with the kidneys. So opening this point helps the energy to descend. So that's why we move to the second point about energy descending. So I'm going to show you liver 3. Now, all of these points are in my book. You can have either book. So you can see the first one there, CV17. And now we're going to move on to liver 3. So liver 3, we're going to be looking at our feet. So let's get the camera and look at the feet. So where you're going to go, here's my foot. And there, I'm going between my big toe and my second toe. Come on, zoom, come into focus. Big toe. Everybody take their socks off. Going over the knuckle and into the fleshy bit there. So I'm still on the fleshy part. So liver 1 is at the corner of the big toe. Liver 2 is where the big toe and the second toe meet. And then you let your finger slide over the knuckle and come to liver 3. Liver 3. Now you have 2 feet. So you have 2 liver 3. So let's do it on the second side. So liver 1 at the corner of the big toe, liver 2 where the big toe and the second toe meet, liver 3 come over the knuckle and into here. Now you can use your thumb or your finger, but I find it easier to project the energy through the thumb. Now, again, see how this point feels. For some people, this can feel really hard and solid and blocked. And if it feels really hard, solid and blocked, what I want you to do is focus your intention into that spot. And then when you've focused your intention, what I want you to do is just relax and imagine this point is a gateway. It's a little door opening to the whole meridian. This is a source point. It's a yin source point. And when I say source, I don't mean soar as in ow. I mean source as in the start of a river or the beginnings of energy, a source. So this, if we can open this point, then we can really flow the energy through the whole liver meridian. So this point here, like I say, if it feels really solid and blocked, imagine you have energy penetrating. It doesn't mean to say you have to dig it deeper and deeper. It just means that I imagine heaven and earth meeting together and flowing the energy through the thumb into that point there. And then feeling that point like a whirlpool becoming unblocked. Feel if there's any blockages, imagine that they're just going to flow into the meridian and that the energy is going to be able to flow through the whole meridian. Okay. And just like if it feels really solid and stuck, you can tap both. If it feels empty, you can hold it until you imagine energy coming to meet it. If it feels really empty, now you want energy to come and meet it and fill that point. While you're working on that, I will tell you what that point is good for. So working on that point is really good for, turn my brightness up, for descending energy. So if you're hot-headed, again, helps to descend the energy. I'm going to be doing this as I'm chatting to you. Let's descend the energy. So if you have had an argument with somebody, if you suffer with kind of like a heat, migraines, headaches, dizziness, vertigo, same kind of thing as dizziness, pains, especially in the sides of the head, also the eyes, the liver, because this is the liver meridian, the liver opens out into the eyes. Each of the organ has a sensory organ. So for example, the heart is the tongue, but the liver is the eyes. So often if you've got problems with the liver, you might see a jaundice, or you might see kind of fatty deposits on people's eyes, and people might suffer with floaters, dizziness, like I said, also blurry vision, double vision, So really we need to kind of relax. The liver is in charge of the sinews and the ligaments of the body. So blood, we're thinking flowing blood to nourish these sinews and ligaments. And remember, it's the sinews and ligaments that move the eyes, you know, that help the lens to move in the eyes. So by doing these points, you're actually helping the head. You're helping reduce stress. You know, if you've had an argument with somebody, you can almost kind of like see red because there's so much pressure builds up behind the eyes. So pressing these points, and like I said, it's not a magic button. You have to have a conversation with your body. But that's the function of this point, is to descend the energy, stop the hot-headedness, the blurred vision, the headaches, the migraines. Also the frustration. Liver in its positive is about creativity and flow, flowing emotions, flowing energy around the body, blood. It's really about the smooth flow. But when we are frustrated, things don't flow so well. Things just don't flow. We have a tightness in our muscles. The muscle fibers are not lying flat. They're in knots. So using this point and breath and intention. So let's inhale. Let's really send some loving energy down to liver 3, because I'm a little bit hot. So let's descend this heat. Let's descend this heat, pressing into liver 3. And you can massage, you can tap. Here I am. That would have been a good way, wouldn't it? I could have held it there. So you can do this for yourself. Index finger over that knuckle, and in there we go. And like I say, I'm projecting energy into there. That point for me, it kind of feels pretty good. As I'm holding it, I can feel the energy come up and meet my thumb. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Hopefully, and maybe you can see actually I'm not so red in the face. It's descending that heat. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But I better move on. Otherwise, we can't just stick around in liver 3. Otherwise, we'll be here for a long time. So the last point I'm going to show you is spleen 6. Spleen 6. And then I'm going to open it up for questions. And remember, if you're watching live on Facebook, you can type the question in. And also, if you're looking for the free ebook that goes with this, type it in the comments in Facebook. So now we move to spleen 6. And this is called 3 yin crossing. 3 yin crossing. So the 3 yin meridians, because remember what, like I said, yin and yang. Yin and yang. Do you know which is which? Yin is the dark, it's the cool, it's the quiet. Whereas yang is the light, it's the bright, it's the active, it's the moving. We might call it day, and the yin would be night. So we need to kind of bring these back into balance. And quite often in our daily life, we can be quite yang. So it's good to nourish the yin, nourish that quiet and cool. Simple ways. What I'm doing now, talking, is yang. Breathing and inhaling, it's yin. Exhaling, yang. Inhaling, yin. So let's have a look at these 3 yin crossing points. Spleen 6. So 4 fingers. Show me 4 fingers. You want 4 fingers, and you want the top of the ankle bone. So the top of the ankle bone, you want to take 4 fingers and measure, and then place your thumb here. But remember, like I said, it's not a magic button. And if I had my mic on, I might be able to hear some of you kind of going, ow, because this one can be quite a sore and painful point. It's often one that gets quite blocked, this 3 yin crossing. And the 3 yin meridians would be kidney, which is going up the back, spleen, which is going in the middle, and liver coming from liver 3, crossing through here and then moving to the front. So liver, kidney, and spleen. 4 fingers up from the ankle bone. And again, we press and hold. This one is really good for moving blood in the uterus. But if you're pregnant, don't press this point. This is one of the points that's used to induce labor. So physically, these points have they have an effect, but you double them up when you use your intention and you begin to develop a conversation with the body. Okay, so if somebody comes to me for shiatsu, I'm listening to their body with one hand and I'm moving the qi with the other, either with the center of the palm or with the fingers and the thumb. Okay, so what I invite you to do is listen and press. This one for me feels like it needs a little bit of movement. So let's rub the point. If you wanted to bring more yin to the point, then you would hold the point and imagine the energy coming to that point. Whereas if you want to disperse the energy, you want to kind of get it moving, tapping, rubbing, pressing, and connect. Oh, hello. Now I feel it. Now I feel it a little bit more. It was kind of almost like there was a numbness there. Okay. This one's also quite good for constipation. There's a better one, which is large intestine 4, but that will be for another day. Right now, spleen 6. Really good if you have period pains, endometriosis, cramps, heavy bleed, or even going through menopause, any age and stage of life. Spleen 6 is a brilliant point to nourish energy in the body. Rubbing, you got 2 legs, you got 2 spleen 6s. Let's go to the other side. So again, 4 fingers, top of the ankle bone, and press. So just so you can see it better, 4 fingers, ankle bone, and press. And like I said, all the points and the directions to the points are in my book. So press. Let's see if I can move that around there. Rub, massage. Actually, there's a lovely point on the other side, which is a gallbladder point, which is very good for moving yang around the body. So I do actually like to do these two together. And rotate the foot, give it a little bit of a rotation, really helpful for moving the blood around the body, this spleen 6 point. Press. Oh, it's a little bit sore for me now. Let's just inhale. Exhale. I'm imagining now the energy from the sky, from the earth coming in to the body. Inhaling and flowing it down right into the point. Focus into the point. Once you've focused into the point, inhale. Take your attention to the back of the body, to the kidneys, and relax. This is often very helpful to just take your awareness to the back of the brain or the back of the body to just help relax the energy into this point so that we focus and then we relax so the energy can just flow. And what you find is the body begins to open up, and that tsubo, that point, will just begin to open up. So you're still connecting, but you're doing it in a relaxed way rather than kind of digging a hole, really expecting a change. These points are really about having a conversation with your body and understanding what your body is saying. And just the same as if I was learning French or if I was learning Italian, the thing I would have to do is practice. I would have to practice. And the more I practiced, the better I would get. So luckily enough, I made it my profession. I made it my career for 20 years. And so I get to practice on other people all the time. So that's why it's kind of easier for me, if you like, to sense the energy. Lots of people have lots of different languages to do that. But we've already done, you can move energy in your body with your intention and the power of mind. You want to connect to heaven and earth, to yin and yang, and then flow the energy through the body. All right, so that's the 3 points we're going to cover, and I'm going to open it up to questions now. And remember, if you want to join Qi Flow, I have left it open for just people on my mailing list, and I will be closing it tomorrow. So if you do want to reduce pain and you want to use these points every day together with Qi Gong, then make sure that you sign up and you join into Qi Flow with Joe. So I'm going to come into screen share now, or not screen share, I'm going to share the screen with everybody so we can see everybody and you can ask me questions. So pop your questions into the chat as we come into gallery. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me put my headphones in and you can unmute yourself. I wonder, Davey, could you check on my Facebook page and see if there's any questions there? Is it possible for you to do that on my phone? On your phone. No, on your phone. Davey's sitting behind the camera there. So how was that? Would anybody like to share how that was to kind of experience the body? How did your points feel? Did you feel that they were soft? Did you feel that were hard? Anybody like to comment their experience this evening? Is that I know that I can see Patricia. Patricia has lots of experience, is also a Shiatsu practitioner. And maybe this was something new or novel to connect to heaven and earth so that you can feel supported in your practice, that it's not about you channeling your pressure or power or fingers. You're actually using life force energy to flow it either into your client or into yourself. You're connected with life force energy. Let's have a look in the chat. Spleen point was so sore. Yes, absolutely. This one is a big one that can be sore for people. So I do recommend kind of every day doing the spleen point, give it a rub, give it a massage, give it a tap. And the more you use it, the softer it becomes and the less painful it becomes, and the blood will be flowing better. Because remember, what we're trying to do is we're trying to remove the blockages, and we're also building up energy so that the energy can push the blood. So we need these two, and wherever intention goes, chi flows, and wherever chi flows, blood goes. So we need intention, energy, and blood. Let's have a look into the chat. It was easier to plug into the south than the north. Interesting, interesting. Easier to plug into the earth, you mean, into the Mother Earth, rather than into the North Star. Sometimes if that's difficult, you can imagine a little star just kind of like a couple of feet over your head. But what's quite nice is sometimes, especially when I'm doing Qi Gong, as anybody in Qi Flow, Helen will know, Verona will know, every morning we connect into the North Star. And there's a really good little app on your phone, which is called Night Sky, and you point it to the sky. It's a free app, and you can find exactly where the North Star is using that app. With the recording of this class, I will put a link to that app. And it's really good to actually know where the stars are, especially the North Star. For me, it really brings me a sense of reality, that I am on a big planet spinning at 1,000 miles an hour in a galaxy, part of trillions of galaxies. And that is the reality. And I just think really great to remember that as we take it up higher and higher through the clouds, through the atmosphere, and right into space, and you connect it in with the North Star. And Verona, I know, is listening in Australia, so you're going to be connecting it into the Southern Cross down below. Exactly. But you're still obviously going to be connecting it to the top of your head, this byway point, There's a point at the top of the head called 100 yang meeting point. Now 100 just means many. It's a translation from Chinese to just mean many. So many yang meeting, all the yang meet here. And that's why we connect the yang up to the North Star. And we're connecting the most yin point, bubbling spring, kidney 1, to the yin center of the earth. So we have yin and yang. Great question. Thank you very much for that question, Patricia. Thank you. Oh, you can't unmute. Thank you so much. You're all still muted. Okay, let me see. This should have worked now. Unmute, give it a go. Oh, hang on. Yes, there you go. Who is unmuted? Hello, say hello. I can hear you. Who is it there? Oh, Verona. Hello, Verona. How you doing?
Hi, Jay. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I was wondering, I felt like on one side, both the points were hard, and on the other, like on the feet, both the points on the other side were empty. So is it often both points are hard and the other side's like it's not flowing, I guess. And I was wondering, yeah, like when I pressed on it on the hard side, it felt like my arms got a flush of warm. Yeah, that's what it felt like. And yeah, and when your knees are bent, it feels like you know, is there a better position to try to do it in? Like trying to keep your leg a bit straighter, or is having it bent, it will still work just the same?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You need a mixture, just the same as kind of like you wouldn't leave your leg completely straight all the time. You would bend it and move it. So often in a shiatsu treatment, there will be manipulation of the joints. We'll move them a little bit. And the same in the Qi Gong. Sometimes we move and sometimes we're still. Sometimes when we're stiller, and we're kind of in our position, our Wuji position, standing in a good posture, then we can really feel the energy flow because we have a good posture and there's no kind of tightness or blockages there. And you were saying that on one side it was kind of harder than another side. Did I hear that correct?
Yes, yes.
So sometimes people ask me, is that because there's an idea that the left-hand side of the body is yin and the right hand is yang, but I don't really subscribe to these kind of doctrines. What I do often find is that if somebody is right-handed, often that's what they'll lead with. So that will be the yang side. That will often be kind of often tighter, stronger, more forceful, because people are leading. They are leading with that. Whereas this one, my left side, I won't lead with it as much. So it tends to be kind of quieter. So the idea is to be able to bring it back to balance, so that we move and we have some good balance, never mind left-handed or right-handed. You know, I had a client once that told me that she used to have her hand strapped by the school, her left hand strapped behind her back, so that it would force her to be right-handed. So we don't ever want that kind of force, but we want to bring it back to balance. So yeah, that created a lot of trauma and a lot of weakness, not by it being able to use her left arm, being constantly told that her left side of the body was wrong. And if you think about the translation of left into French, it's gauche. And what we mean by gauche is kind of clumsy or not moving well. So we have this kind of understanding with language and this kind of left side of the body. So often that can be weaker, or it doesn't move as strongly. So the idea is to just kind of, neither is right or wrong. We just want the balance, just to observe it and go, oh, that's interesting today. But as we all know, the only thing that is we can rely on is that things change. So it might be yang today, it might be yin tomorrow. So thanks so much for your questions, Verona. Thank you.
Thank you.
How about anybody else? How was that? Because I'll ask Mary, the points helped me relax and my stomach felt better. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, definitely. I really feel this one, Mary. This one really, if you have kind of reflux, anything kind of coming back up, maybe it's burping, tightness of breath, this CV17 really good for relaxing and taking everything down. Helen, sometimes it's difficult to use the mind as I'm concentrating on pressing the point. I need to practice the mindfulness. Yeah, and that's where the Qi Gong comes in, so that we let the mind, we let the thoughts come. We're pressing the point and we're thinking, did I turn the cooker off? I don't remember. What do I need to do tomorrow? You know, it's sometimes difficult to stay in presence, even with ourselves. So we let the thoughts arise. And sometimes, you know what, sometimes I even have a conversation with the point. I will kind of press into the point and even ask, what is it you would like to tell me? What is it you would like to show me? And sometimes the points even can trigger a memory or a feeling. And especially when I do shiatsu online with clients, they can have memories of times of perhaps even a trauma or a memory that's being stored in that area of the body that when it's pressed releases that memory. Sometimes I remember there was somebody who saw a purple jacket when they were pressing on it. They could see a purple jacket at the bottom of the well, and they went down and got the jacket and came up and they realized it was from a certain time in their childhood, and we could actually use the points and the mind and the memories to bring some loving kindness and some softness and awareness. That's all meditation is, and mindfulness is. It's about being aware. It's not about being calm or loving everybody. It's just being, oh, I'm thinking about chips. Oh, I'm thinking about whatever I'm thinking about. It's just about the awareness. So pressing into the point, just even asking the point to give us a memory or to give us a bit of clue. Maybe we have to make a decision and we want to actually have a very clear decision. Why not talk to the body? Talk to the body. The body speaks, you know. Gabor Mate has that big famous book at the moment that the body speaks. And it's really good if we can develop a language with the body. For me, that's shiatsu. For other people, they might do yoga, they might do Reiki, they might do acupuncture. You know, it's whatever language you choose to speak. Let's have a look. Another one. So will there be a replay sent out? Yes, I will be emailing the replay with the app that looks at the sky, and I will also put the recording on YouTube, so you can go to my YouTube channel. But I will also, if I have your email on my mailing list, I will send you the replay. If I don't have your email, I don't have anywhere to send the replay. So you go to joannefaulkner.ie and you'll see there the moving energy, moving blood free mini ebook. Put your email in there and you'll get the mini ebook and you'll get this recording. Now, let's have a look, see if I missed any other questions. Feel free to unmute yourself if you like. Hello. Hey, Maureen, how are you doing?
You see me all right.
I can see you. I can see you. How was that experience?
It was great. I always enjoy it. It's really good. I was actually the first part. I was actually having my dinner. I'm sorry because I had visitors, but I got the legs, the spleen, and that. But so I just wanted to say like that I have been taking magnesium for the cramps in my legs, and it works. But I was out of it, and I hadn't got a chance to buy it for a few days. And I decided the other night, believe it or not, they come back very quick, the cramps, without the magnesium. And so I remembered what you said there, that I did the spleen 6, and I did. I got one that I was getting one, and I decided to do that, and they were gone. It was gone. Yeah, for the rest, you know.
Brilliant.
So I said it definitely works. It
Brilliant.
definitely works. Yeah.
And different points will work for different people. And even me, different points will work on different days, because I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. And I'm probably
Yeah.
not the same person I was yesterday. You know, my skin has died. There you go. Just killed some more skin, you know, that we're regenerating all the time. So it
Yeah.
changes what works. So give it a go. That's it. Have the conversation with your body and be in tune with your body. Thank
I will.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you again. It's great.
Mm.
I'll be back. I might just leave off the magnesium for the moment and see how it goes.
Okay,
Although
but
I know it's good for other things as well. It's good to have it.
it
Yeah.
is. And remember, you can get magnesium from pumpkin seeds. Very
Oh,
good
I eat
source
them
of
every
magnesium.
day. Yeah, I have them at
Brilliant.
breakfast every day. Yeah,
Brilliant.
and
So,
anything else with for magnesium.
well, the blue-black color, magnesium and all of those kind of minerals are related to the kidneys. The kidneys have the salty flavor, and the salty flavor is related to all the minerals, the calcium, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, and all of those are found in generally kind of seeds, nuts, seaweed, fantastic. Seaweed is fantastic. And I know I've got Davey sitting behind me, and he has Parkinson's, so he has a lot of cramps. And every so often he'll go that they will get pretty bad, and you'll take some magnesium. But on the whole, the Qi Gong and the acupressure
Yeah.
manage it. But every so often then he takes some more magnesium. And don't forget also your water. You know, the kidneys are the water element. So make some barley water and put some seaweed in your barley water, and that is also full of magnesium and calcium.
So
Really,
can I put a Dillisk in because I have some
yeah,
Dillisk there,
yeah.
but I think I took too much of it because I did get a pain, to be honest with you. I got a pain when I took, maybe I put too much in the rice.
What did you, how
You know?
much did you put in?
Well, maybe it was obviously too much because I twice actually got a pain in my stomach the next day.
Okay,
You know,
so
after. So I thought, is it? No, I'm not sure if it was the seaweed. It might have been something else, but
listen
I'll
to your
try it
body.
again. I'll
Yeah,
try it
listen to
again.
your
Yeah, listen.
body.
Yeah, I am listening. I am listening more now than ever. But
Mm.
if I put it like into the barley water, how much would I just? Very little, obviously.
A teaspoon, a little teaspoon of the Dillisk. If you're using 2
Well,
handfuls of barley and 2 liters of water, a little
yeah.
tablespoon, a little teaspoonful of the Dillisk. I
But I
know that
have it's in the other form. It's not in the powder.
no, I know, but you can still put it on a teaspoon. You'll still
Oh,
know
oh,
how
nice
much a teaspoon
teaspoon.
is.
Oh my God, I am taking too much. I'm taking about 10 teaspoons. Oh, that was wrong. That's what I did wrong. Because I heard it. I heard somebody talking about it on the radio that you know, you have to be careful with the seafood, even though it's yeah, it's great. The seaweed, it is so good for you, but yeah, you have to be careful how you take it, I suppose. You know.
Again, it's that
Yeah.
yin yang balance. Yin yang
Yeah.
balance. Anything you take too much of is not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
Like I remember giving a talk once in the Bank of Ireland, big main central office, and I was giving a talk, and I was talking about yin and yang, and one of the women at the front said, yeah, I used to be able to have like about 26 cups of coffee a day, but I can't anymore. And it's kind of like, wow, okay, yeah, like coffee in itself, you know, what kind of way is your body? Do you have a kidney weakness? And we know that 26 cups of coffee, like I say that to anyone, and anyone will be like, wow. So we need to have a balance. But obviously that was when she was younger. She had a stronger life force energy, this jing, this chi, life force energy. But now, as she was getting older, she was finding that she could not have 26 cups of coffee. So it's all about finding your
Yeah.
balance and
Yeah.
not making anything I think we tend to make food the problem and the solution, whereas actually it's only another language in which we can talk to our body. How do I love myself? Is it through healthy foods that I know suit me, or am I comfort eating? What is it? Finding that yin yang balance, because in food, it can either, you know, it can be, people see it as the solution and the problem, whereas it's just another thing outside of ourselves to have a relationship with. All of our life is about relationship. It's a relationship with the air that I breathe, with the food that I eat, the way I interact with my body, when I go to sleep. How am I loving myself? I'm going off
Yeah,
on a tangent there.
I know. It's a good
Seaweed.
tangent. I'm enjoying it. But I'm actually doing that. I'm much more aware now of connecting in with my body because of yourself. You know, it's brilliant. And the sleep now, you know, the 7, isn't it spleen 7? Or not spleen 7.
Heart 7.
Yeah, heart 7. That
Mhm.
works. That works. I could recommend that to people as well.
Yeah,
You know,
brilliant.
because
Brilliant.
I'm inclined to at night time, you know what I mean? And now that's the only thing I do. I used to get up, make chamomile tea or whatever, you know, like that, you know, but now I do that and eventually I'm gone, you know, so thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, heart 7, just in case anybody interested, the sleep point, the big sleep point is draw a line from the inside of the little finger to the crease of the wrist, and you'll go in between the 2 tendons there. But again, when people ask me for what's the point for sleep, it's kind of like they think it's like a button, and I'll go, oh, yeah, but it's not. This isn't a button. This is also this one especially can feel very empty or very full. You can feel a pulse. And Davey asked me before, well, how do I know what empty is? How do I know what full is? But you'll know in your body. You'll know in your body. Does it feel like it's bouncing you off? Like at the moment, this point for me is kind of quite bouncy. It's bouncing me off, but it's like, but that's because you're giving a talk live to a lot of people. So we're just kind of managing that point. I'll connect with it and kind of exhale. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Maureen.
Okay.
And I can see another hand up there. How are you doing there? Will you pronounce your name for me?
Yes, it's Tiger.
Tiger. Lovely. Yes. And you
Hello.
know that hello.
Did I interrupt you?
Well, tiger is the animal for the liver. Just wondered if you knew that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
So each of the organs have an animal, and it's the tiger that is for the liver. Do you remember I said about ligaments and sinews? So often this kind of tiger idea is about enacting and moving those ligaments. And that's the...
Well, I'll keep that in mind. My tiger is the Taiga, which is the forest region in the biome climate zone between the North Temperate and tundra is the taiga.
Oh, lovely. Gorgeous. Yes. Gorgeous.
Anyway, I've just begun, and so what I wanted to just mention is also the amount of pressure or tenderness or so. It turns out that spleen 6, last week I got a very, very bad insect bite on my leg, and it really, you know, became very red and swollen. And it was at the same time that I was learning these, and I looked, and it turns out it was right at spleen 6. It's almost as if the insect had radar and was right at that point. And so when I was like so cautious though, because it hurt a bit to press it. And so I was, should I not? Should I maybe back off for a while? And then the second, and relatedly, I also had a fall a couple of months ago. And so my left wrist and my thumb is partially dislocated now, and my left wrist is it hurts and it's not operating well. So, and I know we have major points along the wrist. And so my thought question was, how, I know we could touch things very tenderly still, but I also wonder if you're really injured in a place, if you can even just do it by your mind.
Yes,
helpful.
absolutely. 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 I mean, 2 points there. I'll start with something that might just, what I often do is heart protector 8, which I showed you, which is in the center of the palm. This is one of the acupressure points that's closest to the skin. So it's often really easy to feel the energy in this one, especially if we've been doing Qi Gong. You can really feel like you're pulling it apart like sticky putty, and then you squish it together and you condense it between the two palms. So you can often feel that. So what I will do, especially if I have a client or in myself, is I will take that point and just place it over the injury, and like that, pull down the energy from heaven, pull it up from earth, project it right through that point into the acupressure point, and give the acupressure point whatever it's needed. Maybe it's needing to disperse, you know, sometimes with a bite, it can almost kind of, or even a blood blister, something where it's got damage, the blood can accumulate, and that's fine because it's healing, it's cooling. You think what blood does is it cools and nourishes. So often if you've got a bruise, the blood will accumulate there. But as we age, our Qi diminishes, which is why we do Qi Gong, to keep the Qi nice and strong. Our Qi diminishes. And so the bruises can hang around a lot more because you haven't got the energy to really flow the blood away. So what we're doing here is we're either thinking, do I want yin or yang? Do I want to draw the energy to this point and nourish it? Do I want to imagine the energy and the blood coming to my hand? Or do I want to imagine it's dispersing? Ask your body will give you the answer. And then you asked about kind of distance healing. Now, I have a really strong belief, and in Qigong, Qi Flow with Joe, every morning we do loving kindness. So we close our eyes, we imagine that C17 point really softening, and we imagine somebody in front of us we'd really like to send loving kindness to. And that can be in the past, it can be somebody that's passed over, it can be in the present. And usually, my son doesn't know this, but it's usually my son that I pick to do this. Now, I don't always have the best relationship with him, but what it does for me then is it softens me when I meet him. But I also really do think that that is changing the relationship that I have with him. So this kind of imagination and projection and intention is very, very powerful. So you asked me, can I do it with just my mind? In my opinion and in my practice, yes. So I hope that explained. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tiger. I think it's almost 8. Well, it is 8 o'clock. So I take a few more questions, but I do always like to keep my talks to about an hour. Let's have a look in the chat, and if you've got any other questions, you can unmute yourself. I'll just check around. Helen, yeah, I see that. Iker, so very interesting to see and learn about all the connections in the body, acupoints, and all that is around us, and impacts of the yin and yang, as well as the power of the mind and intentions. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you. Mim, as my mother used to say, a little of what you fancy does you good, and too much of anything is bad for you. Yep. Thank you. Absolutely. Can I swap my name to Tiger? Mim, I love your name. Mim. Mim, it's a great name. All right. Thanks, Patricia. All right. I think we'll call that a day. If anybody's got anything to say, now is your time. Otherwise, what we do is we finish it off just by hands up. Thanks a million. You're very welcome. And we send loving Qi to all beings. May all beings be happy, safe, and well. Everybody here, bit over to Davy. Everybody here, may we all be happy, safe, and well. And may all beings be happy, safe, and well. Have a beautiful Qi-filled evening. And if you're part of Qi Flow, I'll see you in the morning. Otherwise, sign up, and I'll see you at some point. Take it easy.